This is Pandora, my giant cloud rainforest floor vivarium, connected to Orcadia, my giant treetop canopy vivarium on the floor above, and connected as well to a cave tunnel which leads to Hydromeda, my giant wetlands vivarium. This entire network of connected vivariums of different biomes is a super biome I call Pangea, which houses a massive ecosystem of plants, fungi, and animals. But the biggest vivarium of them all is set to join them in the Great Connection, with Verdantia, my tropical grasslands vivarium. I'm working on building its ecosystem before connecting it to Pangea. But AC family, there is a major group of creatures that hasn't been getting a lot of spotlight lately that I need to update you on. All our vivaria are already home to a variety of creatures that are vital to ecosystems and have long established lineages in our worlds within glass, as well as newcomers that you guys must see in action. But I think you guys will love the ultimate creature going in next that will completely blow your mind. Welcome to episode 10, season 6 of my Ecosystem Vivarium series and the Age of Arachnids, here on the Ants Canada Ant Channel. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Welcome to the AC fam. Enjoy. This episode is brought to you by AntsCanada.com, where everything is now 15% off, plus a free ant-keeping ebook using the promo code ACHolidays2025 with any purchase of an ant farm or Outworld. Start your ant-keeping experience with us today. In a quiet holding container, in search of a way out, Thorn, a baby giant forest scorpion, paced about, looking for an exit. Hang tight, Thorn. You will be moving in soon. Verdantia has been waiting to receive its ultimate predator, and based on votes by the AC Council, eliminating non-AC family voters who took the bait option and weren't serious, you, Thorn, have been chosen. In Verdantia, a grayish spider began to descend on a line of silk, then ascend. She did this several times to make certain measurements for the grand web she was constructing. She was hungry, but to catch breakfast, she had to complete her web first. It would only take a few minutes. She swung from leaf to leaf, then attached the central line anchoring down on a lower leaf. This would be the center of the orb web. Next step was to create the radiating lines from the center. Spider silk is truly a wonder of nature. Weight for weight, spider silk is stronger and tougher than steel. It exhibits a unique combination of high tensile strength and extensibility, which allows it to absorb a large amount of energy before breaking. What's cool is, it is produced by glands at the spider's spinnerets at the tip of the abdomen, starting off as a liquid which solidifies when in contact with the air. Also, spiders have different types of silk produced from differing glands depending on the function. Here she is using frame and radial line silk from what is called the large ampulate gland. Soon she'll be deploying other glands for the silk needed for other parts of this orb web. Just below her, a new ant colony named the Reapers were in the process of nest construction, but she couldn't be distracted. She had to complete this web. She continued to attach the radial lines to the center. I love watching orb weavers create their nests. Every orb weaver species has a slightly different web architecture, which they instinctively know how to create from the moment they are born. Alright, and with all the radial lines in place, it was time for the spiral line, using a different type of silk produced by the flagelliform gland. Round and round she went, using her legs as a measuring stick for consistent web distance, attaching the spiral line to the radial lines. Spiders have always been so fascinating to me, about as much as ants, and I find watching them spin webs is just so relaxing. I know arachnophobia is a very common fear, and for those arachnophobes that are still here watching, thank you. I will help you get over that fear via exposure therapy, as I understand the fear is real. So I promise I will not do a jump scare or film any spider in this episode making crazy movements at the screen. Just try your best to look, and I will help you appreciate the true wonder and beauty of these creatures. What I find interesting in her species is that she will randomly switch directions while spinning this spiral line. Almost done. And complete. She sat in the middle of the web, as it was now just a waiting game for her meal. The reapers continued to build an anthill as she sat still, up high above them, in her web. So this orb weaver was unknowingly introduced into Verdantia by way of the plants at construction, because I certainly didn't intentionally add her in here. But AC family, you know what? She's not the only one, for it turns out these grasslands are a biodiverse hub of spiders. And I didn't realize just how many spiders were living in the grass until the fog began to roll in and expose their webs. Have a look at this gorgeous spider I spotted. Such a cool color and body shape. I followed a millipede crawling across the soil. Which led me to this cool spider and web. What an interesting web design. This looked like a mix between an orb web and a tangle web. And there's the spider in the middle. There were a variety of different webs around the grass. There were some flat net type webs and some tangle webs, different web designs, all with the same purpose, to snag the plethora of small insects that were residing in the grass. I wonder if these insects knew that potential death lay all around them. This male spider, in his horizontal orb web, had caught a small insect and was about to enjoy his feast. This tangleweb spider was about to feast on its baby isopod that it snagged, when suddenly, oh, it felt something. Vibrations. Time to inspect. She stopped for a moment to assess whether or not she was willing to engage in webbing up such a catch. And in the end, she was happy with the small one she caught. Not worth the energy. And guess what? Speaking of energy well spent, our orb weaver had just caught breakfast. Now, as mentioned, all these spiders weren't intentionally added in, but there was one spider I did add in a couple weeks back that I was delighted to see. This is a lynx spider I caught in a nearby field and placed into here, hoping she was pregnant. And guys, look, she was standing protectively over an egg sac. Yay! Verdantia would soon have a population of these lynx spiders hunting in the grass. Spiders are important for ecosystems as they keep insects and prey species under control. So I was happy there were so many in the grasslands and that they were breeding. And man, were they doing some good work, because look at what else I spotted in a certain area of grass. a spider was webbing up a black crazy ant, some invasive ants from a colony we call the Sagittarius Army that I've been working at eliminating from the grasslands over the past 2 weeks. The black crazy ant struggled and did its best to spray formic acid as the spider laid layers of silk onto it, moving away to allow the formic acid to dissipate before continuing on with the webbing. It actually went on to catch 2 black crazy ants. You go, girl! Spiders help control dominating species, as more of any species in a space occupied by spiders leads to more captures of that species. This spider would just have to deliver her venomous bite, then leave them to die before coming back to feast. In Arcadia, the treetop canopy nearby, another awesome spider was feasting on a newly caught ant in the shadows, and the smell of the fresh ant blood was attracting a nearby black crazy ant. But there was no chance at theft, as this jumping spider was much too nimble, with vision much too superior. Jumping spiders are some of the coolest spiders around, and in my opinion, some of the smartest. They're hunters, not web spinners, when it comes to catching prey, so they have a set of highly effective eyes for hunting. Jumping spiders have been living in Pangaea since the very beginning, keeping various insect populations in check, and right now, they had a taste for our blue ants. But these treetops are also home to the top spider species of the forest that have also been living here since the beginning. But to see them, we have to wait for nightfall when they emerge. Night fell, and a female tree frog was up and looking out onto a distant branch. At the green serpent moving in the trees. It was Valentino, my sarong green tree python. He's such a marvelous snake, and every night he explores his forest, hoping to find food. He had climbed all the way up here from Pandora below. His slender form and muscular body is perfect for life up in the trees. He wondered for a moment if he should just go back down to explore. He yawned. Ugh. Nah, too much work. I'll keep exploring the treetops. It was then that he spotted something of particular interest. A female huntsman was being pestered by a black crazy ant. Away! Termites had emerged this night, plotting where they would be building a new poop tunnel, expansion to their tunnel network. But just nearby, a male was waiting for his chance to shoot his shot. He had followed the scent of this female all night via her lifeline webbing. But he had better be careful, as mating in the spider world is a deadly game. The termites were a good vibrational distraction to allow him to inch as close as he could before making the advance to mate with her. Valentino moved in closer and closer to the tree frog. And then, boing! She was out of there. Valentino wasn't after her anyway. He eats warm-blooded mammals and birds, but he was busy now, taking position for something else. The male huntsman was now cleaning himself, preparing for the great task at hand. He was super close to her now, and could practically play footsies at this distance. Now was his chance to fulfill his ultimate destiny. Valentino moved into position nearby, coiling around the branch. Hello, Spideys! But this movement scared off the female huntsman, as well as the male. Hey, where did everybody go? Guess he too wanted front row seats to see if the male would die or be successful. Though this was an interrupted and failed mating, there were still plenty of opportunities for the female to mate with the very many males that were exploring the treetops for females. And I found that once these females did mate, they all descended down to Pandora, the rainforest floor, to create their egg sacs. Down here, closer to ground level, were pregnant female huntsmen bursting at the seams with eggs. Others had already spun the egg sacs and were protectively carrying them, waiting for the spiderlings to hatch. Here's one expectant mother, and another nearby. I truly love these huntsmen because they too are a species that had persisted in our forest since the very start 2 years back. I've lost track what generation of huntsmen these are now, but it's testament to their supreme biological design as survivors in the ecosystems they're part of. A week later, I found the empty egg sacs of the huntsmen laying all around Pandora. And other creatures, like the acrobat ants, were seen making off with the leftovers inside the sacs. Tiny huntsman spiderlings were seen all over the forest, the future of our huntsman population. I decided to add in a newly caught female, as I felt it was time to diversify their gene pool a bit. I knew she would love it here. But these huntsman spiderlings weren't the only spiders that hatched, as back in Verdantia, I was delighted to spot the lynx spiders had also been born. Look at them! Aren't they just so cute? Congratulations, Mama! I was happy about this because now the mother could eat, as she was too busy protecting the eggs throughout this whole 2-week process and fasted. She was looking thin. Nearby, I spotted another amazing sight. Have a look. It was our orb weaver spider. In just a week, she had grown and had graduated to a much bigger space right under the great tree of Verdantia. Exactly where I had envisioned an orb weaver spider might want to build a nest. And look, it had already captured something. And it looks like it might even be a black crazy ant. Awesome! Spiders have existed on the planet for at least 380 million years, which is way before dinosaurs, of which 45,000 species have been described, which is twice the number of described ant species in the world. They're one of the world's top feared creatures, but for me, are some of the world's most amazing and interesting, diverse, and ingenious. In Verdantia, there have been other spider species spotted, which I wasn't able to capture on film, sadly, including at least 2 ant-mimicking jumping spiders. I'll try to get them on camera soon. Spiders have inhabited spaces that most other creatures haven't, including the cave tunnel, where they snag insects, making the great crossing from Pandora to the wetlands and back. It's no wonder they've been so successful in our ecosystems. Within glass, for me, they're masters of their webs, and so too of the great food web. Alright, Thorn. So, I will move you in to a grand kingdom I have prepared for you. But not yet. For there's some other beasts I need to move in first to do some other important work. Vote in my community tab to affect this story.